Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon lunar cycle insight video. For the March lunar cycle, the Pisces new moon, the cat's come to join us. This is a very intense lunar cycle, as the day before the new moon we have Mercury stationing retrograde on the final degrees of Pisces, your fellow water sign. And we have Uranus changing signs for the first time in 84 years, just hours before the full moon, the new moon on the 6th of March. So let's have a little look at how these energies are going to affect you, Scorpio, over the coming weeks. So Mercury retrograde is going to be in effect for all of March. Mercury will not station direct until the 28th of March, and he won't leave his shadow and leave the sign of Pisces until the 17th of April. So we have a really long journey with these mercurial energies, which is amplified at the beginning of this lunar cycle by the moon, the sun, and Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, all coming together in the sign of the fish. So for you, Scorpio, Pisces rules over your 5th house. The 5th house of the birth chart is the solar house. It's the house connected with the sun, with solar energies, with the frequency of Leo. So the 5th house rules over those things which make us feel passionate, which make us feel enthusiastic. It rules over those things which ignite our inner self, ignite our true soul self and make us want to share our gifts and talents with the rest of the world. So this house rules over the unique, authentic expression of self. It rules over creativity. It rules over pleasure, fun, romance, all of those beautiful leonine qualities. So with Mercury going retrograde here, this can be a time when we are feeling the need to rework our creative offerings. It can be a time when we are looking at how we can utilize our creativity in more productive ways, because Mercury likes to be productive and organized. So we may feel the need to kind of restructure what we are putting out into the world through our creative endeavors. So it may be a time when we are, updating our website or changing the way we work in some way. It could be, just an internal process of changing the way that we use our creative energies. So it's really important when we're working with this house that our creative offerings and our work is aligned with our true soul essence. So this can be a time of really rediscovering what you want to devote yourself, what you want to devote your time and energy to. It can be a time when you are really thinking about how your work, how your creativity serves, how it has a positive impact on the rest of humanity. We can also be having a look at letting go of those things which do no longer bring us joy and pleasure. We may be revisiting the past, we may be revisiting old romances, old relationships, either internally or in the physical reality, in order to clear away any residual energetic residue. This is a huge period of decluttering, of letting go on an emotional level. So for you, Scorpio, this could be a good time for you to actually release those emotions through creative endeavors, through, singing, dancing, writing, art, however you like to express yourself can be a great channel for letting go, because this will be a very deeply emotional and nostalgic time for you, with all of these planets gathering in your fellow water sign. So you are one of the 12 zodiac signs that will flow with this energy a bit more easily, because you're used to diving into the depths. But still, that doesn't take away from the intensity of the process, because you, like Pisces, feel everything so deeply. So give yourself time, give yourself space. This isn't the time to be pushing or putting anything new out into the world right now, but more a time of reworking things so they bring you greater joy, so they bring you greater connection, so they bring you greater pleasure. This can be a time when you might feel lacking in energy a little bit as well, because the 5th house has a lot to do with our vitality. So if you feel the need to slow down, just trust that, trust your intuitive nudges and channel your energy in creative ways. So the other big news of this cycle is, of course, Uranus's shift into Taurus, which of course is your opposite sign. So this is particularly potent for you, Scorpio. Over the coming 7 years, you will receive your Scorpio placements will receive an opposition from Uranus, which will be life-changing and very rewarding ultimately. But that will very much depend on the degree of the planets. The earlier the degree, the closer you're born to the beginning of the sign of Scorpio, the quicker that will be. But nevertheless, still, even if we're not having an exact alignment from Uranus straight away, his shift into your opposite sign will bring great change, particularly through your relationships. The 7th house is where we have, the first 6 houses of the zodiac. We build our personality, we build ourselves, we come to know who we are. The 7th house is where we interface with other people, and not just necessarily just partners, but also our wider social connections, like our business relationships, family and friendships. And as a Scorpio, with Uranus ruling your 7th house, you can become quite fixed in your ideas around relationship, around partnership. There's this, because Scorpio desires intimacy, there can be no superficial connections for you. It has to go to a very deep level of your being. Scorpio is where we really intertwine with the other person in an intimate way. So this can create some kind of deep attachments and sometimes possessive behavior. We hold on to things a lot longer than we should in the Taurus and Scorpio places of our birth chart. So this Uranian transit will be breaking up any stagnant energy around your ways of relating to other people. So Uranus brings chaos, he is like a storm that blows in, disrupts everything, and then the air clears afterwards, and we understand why we had to go through those transitions. So this can be a time of change in your relationships. Things that we thought were solid or stable can start to transform. So he ultimately wants us to liberate ourselves from things that are not serving our souls, things that aren't allowing us to express our own unique individuality in a similar way to the 5th house. So there's a huge focus here, Scorpio, on you really knowing who you are, you really knowing and being able to express yourself in all of your authenticity. And that is particularly true in relationship. So this can be a time when we have to really start to think about letting go of the old stuck patterns and beliefs around intimacy and connection, but also, You know, if we are in relationships that aren't serving us, that are stifling us, then Uranus might call us to let that other person go, let that contract go, let that lover go. So it's a very interesting energy to work with because Uranus is unpredictable by nature. So he can, you know, call us to break out of our comfort zone by stripping things away, but he can also call us to expand by bringing new things into our life very rapidly. So it could be that we actually meet new people, Uranian people, exciting, eccentric, freedom-loving people that call us to look at life in a new way. So new connections, new networks. You know, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, the great web of life. So we may have this energy here as one door closes, another one opens. Or, you know, we could meet somebody or something can happen out of the blue that calls us to completely change our perspective, change our way of connecting and communicating with others. So this is a really powerful time to look at the balance of your needs versus your entanglements with other people. So working in conjunction with that fifth house energy, we see this big focus here this month on your passions, your desires, and also letting go of the wounds of the past so we can open into something new and exciting. We've also got a equinox full moon. You know, we're still on that thing of 0-degree moons this month. We've got 2 full moons in Libra actually this spring, and that rules your 12th house, as the sun will come to conjunct Chiron in your 6th house. So around mid-month, around mid-March, we can also see this energy of psychic and spiritual decluttering coming through. This is a really powerful month for you to let go of old hurts, let go of old pain, old barriers, because we know that you have your defense mechanisms, Scorpio. You know, you crave intimacy but can also be a little bit fearful of it. So this is a time of allowing the heart to really break open, allowing yourself to be really seen and vulnerable as well. So I'm going to pick a card for you from the Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Mahershinki to close this reading. Interesting. So we have the card Energy. We have this Kundalini snake here on this card as well. And Uranus in Taurus can be really awakening that Shakti. It's a lot to do with sexual liberation as well. And so you may be feeling this kind of energy awakening within you that is rising up and calling you to make changes. And, you know, we also have this kind of theme of life force going on with the 5th house. So we're really looking at how we can raise this energy, how we can bring it through and express it in ways that serve, in ways that uplift and heal the rest of humanity, but also in ways that make you feel grounded, make you feel nourished. So if you are lacking in energy, lacking in life force, if you're not feeling this Kundalini serpent awakening, then what is blocking you? You know, maybe there's some healing work that needs to be done. Maybe there is some energy center, some chakra in your body that needs to be rebalanced, and this retrograde can reveal that to you. You might want to work with lower chakra crystals. Ruby would be brilliant. Citrine, carnelian, orange calcite, all of these that can kind of ground and anchor, particularly if you are having, you know, that Uranus transit straight away opposing your sun, because Uranus is an energy that is very heady, it's very cosmic. So we can experience a lot of downloads that kind of have to be anchored into the physical reality through those creative, expressive centers. So that could be something else that is happening for you as well. So take the time to meditate. You know, she looks very peaceful here. She's raising that energy up and through. Meditate, reflect, nurture, nourish, ground, anchor. Don't allow yourself to be rooted so you're not blown away by the storm. So thank you so much for listening to me, Scorpio. If you wish to connect with me further, you can check the links below this video. I am sending you so much love and wishing you a blessed lunar cycle.